Imagine a spiritual guide accompanying you in the depths of the afterlife, revealing hidden messages and bringing understanding about the meaning of existence. Welcome to the journey through the secret doors of Bardo Thodol. Bardo Thodol is one of the deepest and most mysterious scriptures of Tibetan Buddhism. Created by Padmasambhava, a legendary figure, this book is not just a simple guide on death. It is a spiritual map, revealing what happens immediately after the transition. Get ready to cross this door to us and unravel your messages. Seeking a deeper understanding of existence, subscribe to the channel to continue unraveling mysteries of the soul and the universe. Padmasambhava, also known as Guru Rinpoche, was born in India and is a legendary figure in Tibetan Buddhism. Endowed with extraordinary spiritual abilities since childhood, he was recognized as a Mahasiddha, a soul who has attained a high level of spiritual perception. Called to Tibet by King Trasongdetsen to spread Buddhism in the region and unify the people under a single spiritual faith, Padmasambhava faced challenges in finding a land rich in shamanic practices and spiritual beliefs rooted in the Bon religion, the original spiritual practice of Tibet. Integrating local deities and Bon practices into Tibetan Buddhism was crucial to establishing a firm foundation for perennial spirituality. He was an extraordinary spiritual master in various dimensions. In addition to his supernatural skills and deep knowledge of the esoteric practices of Tibetan Buddhism, he was recognized as an extremely talented yogi. Since childhood, he has shown unusual supernatural gifts, attracting the attention of many spiritual masters. His reputation grew even more when he became famous for mastering subtle techniques of meditation and reaching deep meditative states that challenged ordinary human capacities. Padmasambhava's renown was not limited to spiritual rule. Only he was also seen as a skilled healer who could relieve the suffering of others with his touches and words. His arrival in Tibet was driven not only by the mission of spreading Buddhism in the region, but also by the desire to share his exceptional spiritual wisdom and his unique ability to unify the various spiritual traditions he would find. Faced with resistance from local traditions and cultural challenges in Tibet, Padmasambhava used their advanced skills to understand local beliefs, harmoniously integrating them with established Buddhist practices. Padmasambhava's influence and legacy went beyond his physical time on earth, continuing to inspire spiritual seekers to the present day. In founding the first Buddhist monastery in Tibet, called Sami Gompa, not only established a sacred space for spiritual practice, but also began a movement of spiritual transformation in the region. The monastery, conceived as a teaching and meditation center, became the pulsating heart of the dissemination of Buddhist teachings in Tibet. Padmasambhava's presence and the energy deposited in the Sami Gompa were not just physical, they were heavenly. The structure of the monastery was designed following specific geomantic principles to ensure harmony with earthly and heavenly energies. Every detail of the construction served as a symbolic portal for transcendental connections and deep spiritual understanding. The teachings transmitted within the walls of Sami Gompa were not just theory, they were experience. The monks and devotees who attended the monastery plunged into intense meditation practices, study of sutras, and philosophical debates. The vibrant atmosphere of the Samigoma was impregnated with the blessings and wisdom of Padmasambhava, providing visitors a unique transcendental experience. Thus, the integration between deities and Bon practices found his spiritual home in the Sami Gompa, radiating spiritual light for years on the horizon of Tibet. Padmasambhava, by establishing the first Buddhist monastery in Tibet, Sami Gompa, not only built a physical place of worship, but inaugurated a sacred center of spiritual knowledge and transformation. Sami Goma's architecture was meticulously planned to harmonize with earthly and heavenly energies, reflecting the connection between the material and the transcendental world. The monastery was not just a place of meditation. It was a portal for higher dimensions of consciousness. Padmasambhava taught the monks and devotees intense meditation, practical study of sutras, and deep philosophical debates. Each stone of the Sami Goma vibrated with the spiritual essence left by the great master, providing a unique transcultural experience for those looking for wisdom. Thus, the founding of the Sami Gompa symbolizes not only the spread of Buddhism in Tibet, but also the spiritual awakening that echoed through the ages. At the heart of Tibetan Buddhism, death is not viewed as the absolute end, but as a transition to another stage of existence. According to the beliefs of this spiritual tradition, at the moment of death, consciousness enters into a singular state, in which it becomes more receptive to the absolute truth and frees itself from the ties of the physical body. This moment offers a unique opportunity of spiritual liberation, a moment of clarity where consciousness detaches itself from earthly illusions and can embrace its purest nature. Padmasambhava deeply understood this unique opportunity present at the end of the earthly journey and sought to disseminate the necessary knowledge so that beings could follow this passage with wisdom and inner preparation. Thus, the book Bardo Thodol is not just a record about the transition from life to death, but an essential spiritual guide that aims to prepare the mind and spirit for this crucial moment of transcendence. In Bardo Thodol, the spiritual journey is guided by three main stages or bards: Chikhai Bardo, Chonyid Bardo, and Sidpa Bardo. Each bard represents a unique phase of spiritual transition after death, offering to the soul the opportunity to understand and transcend different aspects of its existence. During Chikhai Bardo, consciousness plunges into the experience of death itself, releasing itself from the physical ties of the body and starting a journey towards more subtle planes of perception. In Chonyid Bardo, mental projections intensify, revealing deep emotional reactions accumulated throughout life and challenging the soul to confront its deepest fears and desires. Finally, at Sidpa Bardo, the soul faces crucial choices about its next renaissance, based on the karmic quantum energy accumulated throughout the existence. These stages of the bard are not just forms of transition, they are portals for self-knowledge and spiritual transcendence that allow the soul to break free from repetitive cycles of birth and death. By understanding and navigating these bards wisely, we seek to reach the supreme state of lighting beyond the limitations of time and space. During Chikhai Bardo, the soul enters into the portal of death, where consciousness comes off the physical wrapping and plunges into an ocean of darkness and light. It is at this supreme moment that the final events of life are reviewed instantly, such as a quick camera movie, allowing the soul to reconcile with its past actions and prepare for the journey beyond the veil of earthly existence. In this primordial transition, perception changes, the senses fade, and consciousness is brought to the threshold between the material and the spiritual world. Every beat of the heart echoes like an infinity whisper, reminding the soul its divine and eternal essence. This is the moment when the boundaries between life and death dissolve, revealing the essential truth that transcends all dualities. In Chikhai Bardo, the journey towards the unknown begins. Already in Chonyid Bardo, the soul is immersed in a sea of intensified mental projections, revealing the depths of its accumulated emotions along the earthly journey. These projections assume vivid and symbolic forms, representing repressed desires, rooted fears, and ephemeral joys experienced during life. It is as if every thought and feeling came to life, dancing in a rich and multifaceted mental scenario. The soul is confronted with its deepest shadows, forcing it to face its most hidden aspects and to fully embrace its dual nature. At this crucial stage, the clarity of perception becomes vital to discern between essential illusions and truths. Each projected image is an invitation to dive into the most intimate layers of being and recognize the transforming power of self-awareness. When crossing the Chonyid Bardo, the soul is invited to transcend beyond illusory appearances and embrace its totality of light and shadow, towards the rediscovery of primordial essence. And at the moment of Sidpa Bardo, the soul is faced with a moment of deep introspection, where all the choices and actions taken along past existences are revealed to its fullness. Each thought, word, and act are heavy in the scale of cosmic consciousness, reflecting the accumulated karmic energies. At this crucial stage, the soul is confronted with the consequences of its past choices and the karmic ties that shape its future destiny. Each vibration of the universe echoes as a subtle reminder of the balance between cause and effect, between intention and manifestation. Here, freedom of choice merges with cosmic responsibility, inviting the soul to discern the path that will guide its next earthly journey. This is the moment of the ultimate truth, where the key resides to untie samsara's nodes and advance towards supreme liberation. In the midst of Sidpa Bardo, the soul is in a space of deep reflection and discernment, where each intention and action performed throughout the past existences are thoroughly analyzed. Each experience experienced, every cherished thought and expressed emotion is exposed to the light of cosmic consciousness, revealing the complex webs of causes and effects that weave spiritual destiny. At this decisive stage, the soul is faced with the crossroads between final transcendence or renaissance towards a new earthly journey. Each choice reflects not only accumulated learning, but also the cosmic responsibilities inherent in the flow of existence. It is at this moment of absolute clarity that freedom of decision intertwines with the deep understanding of universal laws, inviting the soul to trace the path that will shape its future spiritual evolution. Here lies the core of the human journey, in the delicate balance between past and future, between infinite potentialities and timeless responsibilities. May this be a final opportunity to unravel the mysteries of being and advance towards supreme liberation. If you are interested in this journey to the unknown, share this video with other spiritual seekers. Comment below what intrigues you most about life after death. Together we can explore the greatest mysteries of existence. Thank you for your interest in this exploration to the depths of Bardo Thodol. Remember, each breath brings us closer to the final transition. May we embrace this mystery with wisdom.